this is mostly in the Form 2 for the history. You'll see this because there wasn't enough time in the time schedule to read it and write about it. And again, you might just drop the written narration altogether and they just might orally narrate it. That's totally fine. So a few things that you could do is you could record the narration on day one, like into your phone. And then on Thursday, when they have to write it, they listen to it and then write it. So I actually do that for all my written narrations for my Form 2 child because she needs that support. So anytime she has to do a written narration, and again, this is only once a week at first, okay? It's not every subject, still all oral mostly with a few written. So the Indians book by Hollings, I wanted her to do a written narration from that this week. So, I'll let her know that, and then she'll record it on her phone when she's done reading it. And then if there's time that day, great. If there's not, then she'll do it another day where she'll listen to her recording of it and type it out. Because again, their oral narration is going to be way above their written narration when they first start out. So by recording their voice, they can hear, oh, wow, I have a lot to say about this. When they're writing it, they kind of, three little, like you said, 3 dull sentences. That's so my life. It's like, how many sentences does this have to be? And like, what are the least amount of words I could put into each sentence? But when they're talking to me, it's like, they'll just go on and on forever and ever. Recording it one day, writing it another idea would be that they could, he could do like the cartoon style drawings the first day, the 7 first, second in those little blocks. And you could write down important names and places that were in that story that you read. Like, let's say you're reading about George Washington crossing the Delaware, right? You could write the Delaware, Battle of Trenton, George Washington, and those important things. And then I'll have his pictures so that on Thursday, when he goes to write his narration, he has something to kind of reference, right? It is a lot for a Form 2 child to be able to expect to remember something that far out. Now, again, when they go to do their exams, that's even farther out. Once they get to be in high school, for sure, like if they read something on Monday and they don't have time to write a narration to it by Friday, like I'm not going to stress about it because they can keep that information for that long. But a Form 2 child, especially if this is something that's new, you can have them read it, have them record it, and then have them write it on Thursday, or you could just, skip the written part altogether if that's not something they're ready for, or have them kind of draw like a mind map or cartoon pictures or things that are just going to help them just kind of jog their memory when they have to go back and write it later. Or you could write it for them. They could just tell it to you. I mean, there's multiple strategies here. The key is that they're narrating, however that comes across, and that you're kind of working with them to get them to the next level.